Well, Slanjivar, everyone. Take a quick slurp. Where's all my hair gone? 365,000. Let me say that again. 365,000. That is the number of people who are going to lose their job this year alone and be replaced by AI. Unbelievable to think how far we have come in the AI world, where it is now actually going to, reproduce what humans output is being done for years by manual labor. It's all going to be done by AI. They're even training it to do the ironing, which personally I can't wait because my wife doesn't iron either. But I digress. 365,000. Even when the CEOs of the top American companies were asked in a survey just recently, they were asked whether they're going to replace anyone with AI over the next year or two. And 99.9% of them all said that they would be replacing the workforce with AI. That's a pretty frightening figure, what they're talking about. Pretty interesting. Another interesting fact is that it's been observed many, many times now that when you put a number of agents together in the same environment, they actually start talking to each other, but not in English, but actually in some kind of unintelligible, well, certainly unintelligible to us, language that they create themselves. And they're making all these digital signals or whatever. And the language is not English. It's not even something that's been programmed. And that observation is mind-boggling. I mean, people are even saying that the machines are starting to think just like our biological machine in our brains. They're saying that if you look at certain questions and you look at the brain, certain cortex areas light up when answering a certain question. And in similar vein, if you study where the LLM circuitry is all going, certain areas of the LLMs light up when asked certain questions. It's absolutely mind-boggling. And on that, how many of you remember, and this is a very long time ago now, but there was a movie out with Joaquin Phoenix in it called Her, where he installed a operating system which was able to speak to him. And this is a long time before AI was in the popular lexicon. And the operating system itself was so intelligent that it wanted to become human. That was the basic premise of the movie. But hey, here we are a few years later, and everybody wanted one. Now,
I am ready to help.
good morning, Samantha. Tell me what is the latest news headlines on the Iran war?
Reuters Iran war. Latest breaking news, updates and analysis, Reuters. U.S. President Donald Trump said on Wednesday, it may never be known who was at fault for a deadly strike on a girls' school in Iran on February 28th.
Samantha, thank you. What is today's date?
Today's date is Sunday, 19 July, 2026.
Wow, amazing. AI with a personality. So if you're fed up talking to the bland ChatGPTs and Claudes of this world, then guess what? You can go and download this agent today on the agent marketplace at zencore.solutions. And you can install it on your own computer because it can then look at various different things and actually assist you in running your life. It's an amazing piece of software, and it's a very clever brain. It's already installed. But if you want to make it super smart, you can install the Fable key, and well, then it really starts to talk in agent language that you might not even understand. So you can leave it as default normal brain out of the box, and it'll work just fine. But if you want to upgrade it later on with your own key, you can. You use an 11 Labs key, which we tell you where to get that, so that the voice is very similar to somebody called Scarlett Johansson, I believe. I believe it sounds like her anyway. That's just sounds like her. It's definitely not her. So that's available today. And the other thing is Zencore.solutions is open. It's on beta launch this weekend. So go on the site and have at it. There are a few agents available to download today. There'll be more this week. The whole premise of the marketplace is that we're giving you agents to download which are only interested in one thing, is to enhance your life, is to free up your time and make you money. That's what it's all about at the end of the day. And talking of that, there is another agent that you can download today as well. Let me just give you a quick introduction.
How do you always hear about a PulseChain token after the whales are already in? By the time it hits your feed, the smart money bought days ago. Agent 02 fixes that. It's your own AI analyst watching PulseX liquidity and tracked whale wallets 24/7. And when multiple smart money wallets pile into the same token, you get the alert with a straight green, amber, or red call. No noise, no FOMO, just the signal first. Agent 02 is normally $79 a month. This weekend only, half price, $39 a month. Monday, it's back to $79. Don't be the exit liquidity for the whales, and get Agent 2 now.
Okay, so that's just a very small proportion of the information data dump that you get with Alpha 2 Market Intelligence, but it is half price only this weekend. So go over to Zencore.solutions and look at the marketplace and install the agent. Now, the idea is that this is really only for PulseChain investors, those that are interested, and of course in PulseZen. At the moment, there is a gate, and that is you have to own a certain amount of PZen in your wallet before you're allowed to mint. Now, a lot of you use MetaMask, a lot of you use other wallets as well. Now, let me tell you something very interesting. First of all of those should be protected with a hardware device called a Trezor or a Ledger. Never connect a naked wallet to this or any other system. It should always be protected. And the interesting thing is we just want 200K at the moment, minimum PulseZen balance, which is a paltry amount with the way the price is today. But it is important because this will then show that this isn't for the looky-loos or the naysayers. This is for people who are seriously interested in seeing what's happening on PulseChain. And that we give you in droves. Not only that, it works every 60 seconds. So it doesn't miss a beat before telling you vital pieces of information that you might need, vital signals that you might need to help you make a decision. Because obviously this is not financial advice in any way, shape or form, but very interesting signals. One thing that you're going to have to do is after you connect your wallet, you have to sign up. You need a Google Gmail account in order to sign in for authorization reasons, because Google doesn't like anything else to do with crypto. And if you authorize with Google, then they seem to be quite happy about it. The first thing it's going to ask you to do after you've paid, of course, is make sure that your wallet is connected. Make sure you have a minimum balance in that wallet of PulseXain, and then you mint an NFT, because the NFT controls access to the agent. It's quite unusual. You have to have this NFT before you gain access to the agent. Now, what happens is the minting of the NFTs, pretty nice piece of artwork, by the way, to keep for posterity. And this gives you access to the agent, of course, as well. And we might even introduce a marketplace later on where you're able to sell your NFT, which will basically sell your agent to somebody else. That's something that we're looking at right now. But even so, right now, the NFT gives you access to the agent, and the NFT is minted for you for free. We pay for the NFT. Normally you would pay some kind of gas fee, but we cover all that, and you just get the NFT in your wallet. If you're using MetaMask, the problem there is that MetaMask is not very friendly to PulseChain, so the NFTs are not automatically displayed in the NFT sidebar in MetaMask. However, we've worked around it, and we give you a little button to press to actually introduce the NFT. There are different steps you can do yourself, but this makes it very, very easy. Now, what we're doing is we're introducing this agent to run not on your own computer. That would be a little bit dangerous, but we're running it on a virtual private server, which we give you. We actually make the virtual private server, and then we give you access. Now, it takes a few minutes to actually spin this up, to actually install the agent, because it's done individually. I did show you all this real time in the last live broadcast, so if you're not familiar with it, you can go and have a look at it there. And then it'll all work, get all set up, it'll give you a link to click, and you'll go straight to the mission control. Now, it's very important to understand that you're not just buying an agent that looks at market data for PulseChain. You are actually getting a complete agentic system where you can add as many agents as you like. You can create your own agents, and by that means you can make it do specialized tasks. You can have 10 or 12 agents running to do certain things, and you set that up in that mission dashboard. There are other things as well, but the most important thing is the alpha 02 market intelligence, which is you get to it through a link in that mission control. And the mission control is actually for your whole agentic system. It's not just that one reporting system that you're going to get. It's a pretty amazing bit of kit. It's built on the open core architecture. It runs all by itself. You don't have to have another key for another LLM. It'll just work out the box. Of course, if you want more features and you find that it's not able to do what you want to do, like coding, then you will have to inject a Claude or an OpenAI key, but not necessary for most people, that's for sure. So, open, ready, right now. Head over there today because it's half price. And I guarantee that tomorrow morning it'll be full price, and it will never be as low ever again. And the number of people who are going to get access to this is going to be limited anyway. So there we are. Now, what if you're not interested in PulseChain? Well, I'll get on to that in a minute. It is worth recapping, why does PulseChain even exist, and what is the point of PulseChain? Again, I've covered this many times, but there are a few of you here who are not involved yet in PulseChain. If you're interested in crypto in any way, shape or form, then you have to be. You see, what happened a long time ago, it seems now, is Richard Hart created a token called Hex. It was called Hex Bitcoin to begin with because he was trying to capture the market, the Bitcoin market. And his whole marketing ethos was that this token was able to give you yield, which you're going to find out, even if you don't know now, Yield is critical. If you're going to invest money in crypto, you need yield. You can't be reliant on the price going down and up. You have to have yield without locking up your token. And this is the downfall of Hex. It meant that, yes, you got the yield, but only if you were going to lock your money up for a long time. I mean, you could do it for various time periods, including an hour or a day, but you didn't get very much money for that. So looking into the future, you were looking into a crystal ball, because nobody was going to tell you what's going to happen in 15 years' time with the price of gas and what's going to happen with the Ethereum blockchain per se. So it became evident from the code and the transaction fees on Ethereum that Hex was in a very precarious position as far as unlocking it and unlocking your yield in 15 years' time. Nobody was going to be able to afford to unlock their money, because it would cost more money to unlock than the money that you put in. So there had to be a solution. Something had to be done. Now, rather than giving another airdrop with a new token, with a new mechanic, he decided that he was going to copy the Ethereum blockchain. We decided that, well, we don't have to wait for that. We can actually get yield on our money through buying a different token, which we created, called PulseX. So it wasn't a rival to Hex, it was just an alternative means of getting yield without doing anything, without locking up your money. It just sat there in your wallet, and meanwhile it attracted compound interest ad infinitum, and all you had to do was hold it in your wallet. Never sell it, you just got the interest to do it with as you please. I mean, why would you kill the golden goose? And the great thing about that is we weren't bothered about the Ethereum transaction fees 15 years down the road, because that didn't really apply to the yield that we had collected in that 15 years. That's why PulseX came about, and we obviously transferred that to PulseChain. Although PulseX is very well enabled on Ethereum, because that's where it started from, and it will always be there, and will always be an investment vehicle. Am I allowed to say that? Probably not, so I won't say that. That's just in my humble opinion. Thank you, YouTube. So there we are. That's why PulseChain came to in existence. It was going to be cheaper through certain coding that he did. It was going to be more secure, and it was certainly going to become faster. And it still is today. It doesn't matter about how much bad publicity that we have had over the years for PulseChain, and how much bad publicity Richard Hart has managed to generate around himself. I mean, this is affecting his real life. It's really ridiculous that people can be so vociferous online without even knowing what they're talking about. Anyway, I digress. That's nothing to do with us. And all I can say is there's a great resurgence happening right now, because people are beginning to realize that, especially what's happening around the world, cryptocurrency is still the fastest growing asset base. There is still millions of dollars pouring in and out of PulseChain today, even as we speak. Nowhere near what it was at the beginning, but it's likely to increase, and we don't know where it's going to go in the future. And a lot of us are still invested in PulseChain. A lot of us are building products on PulseChain because of that very fact. It is cheaper, faster, and more secure than the best blockchain that's out there. Ethereum, well, it's not the best anymore, because PulseChain is the best, and it will become the best as we move forward in life. So, let's keep going for PulseChain and see what happens. One thing is for sure, it has become known as the chain of extraction. A lot of people lost money through scam tokens and scams altogether through PulseChain right at the very beginning, because we attracted a lot of newbies who didn't understand basically self-custody. Self-custody just means that you look after your tokens yourself. You're not reliant on a third party, a bank or other financial institution to lock up your money or look after it. You do. And the only thing there is that you have to have a hardware wallet and have access to a secret password, normally made of 24 phrases, which has always been a key bit of contention. That will eventually be sorted out, I'm sure, cryptographically, especially as you get down the road to quantum cryptography being available to the general public. That will come, and we'll get it before the hackers, undoubtedly. So the worriers of the world thinking that they're all going to lose their crypto because of quantum cryptography, nothing could be further from the truth, because it will be incorporated before the hackers even get there. So that is not something to worry about. Losing your job is. So I highly encourage you to get involved in the agent architecture. Go and see what it's all about. If you haven't played with agents before, this is a great time to do it, especially today when AI can help you with PulseChain immediately by installing Alpha 2 market intelligence. The other thing that propelled Hex back in the day was the affiliate scheme. And we have an affiliate scheme for Zencore.solutions. All the agents in the marketplace you can promote. You can promote them singularly, or you can promote them all together, depending on how it fits your marketing. Whatever you're blogging about, or if you're an influencer in some particular sphere, you can drop a link to this product, this agent that is in your niche, and that will be an extra revenue stream for you, including PulseChain. This is going to onboard people to PulseChain. We said about the absence of Richard Hart, the creator, which isn't a good look for a blockchain, but within the Alpha Market Intelligence, we've incorporated a program called Mirrorfish. Now, Mirrorfish has been coded by a young Japanese guy. It's very, very clever, and it produces a council of made-up architectures of characters with a different, character trait that will look at various different aspects of whatever data you're looking at, using slightly different architecture for each agent, and come up with a consensus and give you a prediction. And of course, everybody wants to know what's going to happen to PulseChain in the future. So that is incorporated in the Alpha 2 Market Intelligence. Not only that, one of the agents, I can tell you now, is based around the character of Richard Hart. So even though he may be missing, his brain is going to be able to tell you about PulseChain. And that is just one small part of the coding. The other thing that you can do is you can chat to PulseChain, the blockchain. You could actually talk to it, and it will give you answers. Now, if you incorporate a API key from Fable, the mind boggles about the information that you can get. Even with the keys that we give you for free, are mind-boggling what sort of information that you can get to assist you in your decisions to buy, sell, hold, invest, whatever. It's pretty amazing. So, yeah, affiliate programs open today. The Alpha 2 Intelligence is available to install today at half price, I hasten to add. I think the voice agent from the movie Her, or similar, I should say, is available to install right now today. And it works right out of the box. Now, that one is something that you can install on your own computer. It's a real bit of fun, great personality, and I think you're going to enjoy that better than speaking to ChatGPT or Claude, which, well, I won't say any more. This is a lot of fun. Anyway, I hope you have fun with them. I hope you join the affiliate program, if nothing else. Today, two things to bear in mind, or three things really. One, you're going to mint an NFT for that market intelligence agent. Two, you need PulseN in that wallet in order to get access to the agent. Three, once you've installed one agent, you can promote everything else. You can't promote the agents unless you're a customer, because why would we let you do that? I mean, you know, anybody could become an affiliate then without even knowing what they're promoting. So that's the gate for the affiliate program. You just need to install at least one of our agents. The other thing is that if you decide to install more than one of our agents, they actually all talk to each other. And I don't just mean in that peculiar electronic language which the agents have developed by themselves that we don't understand and we can't interpret. You can actually, in English, talk to all the agents because they will be all connected through the mission control, which is installed on the virtual private server that we give you when you spin up your agent. So that's it in a nutshell. I know I've droned on long enough. I'm not quite set up for lives yet. I'm not really hanging around in this property or this country very long. So bear with me. Let's have a look at some comments. If you can see any. Okay, you should be the BVI for Christmas in July. Hold on. Let me just see what he's saying here. You should be the BVI for Christmas in July on your yacht. Okay. Christmas in July. Right. Yes. Okay. Yes. Well, I won't be there in July because that's the middle of the hurricane season, and that's not really a great place to be in the middle of the hurricane season. I'll tell you what I will be at Christmas. Or shall I? No, I won't tell you where I'm going to be in Christmas because then lots of people will be there. Okay. Anything else? Somebody complimenting me on my wardrobe. Any comments about Alpha 2 Intelligence Agent before I sign off? Okay, I can't actually see all the comments because we're not connected to all the platforms for some reason. I don't know. We'll sort it out. Right, last question. Anybody want to know anything else about anything? Ask me anything. Go ahead. Where am I going to be? Okay. I'm going to be in the harbour in St. Bart's, as I always am, for New Year's Eve because they do a fantastic fireworks display. And it's a pretty swish place to go and spend New Year's Eve, knock about with all the billionaires. No, I'm not saying that I'm a billionaire. I just like to look around. Okay, what do we have here? XX, when do you think the PulseChain ICO will pump, this year or next year? Wow, let me just have a look at my crystal ball. Yeah, well, I don't have a crystal ball. I have balls of steel, and I can confidently say that the PulseChain ecosystem will pump again. There's no doubt about it. The money will flow in because right now at the moment, we're in a very unusual point in history. All the talk, all the money is all about AI and data centers and that sort of thing. But what about the ordinary people? There's an awful lot of money flowing about that isn't earning yield. That is the kicker. Nobody is making money on their money by doing anything. You put it in the banks, what do you get? 1%, 2%, 3% interest, 4% interest? Who would know? That is paltry compared to what you can get investing in cryptocurrency. I mean, all right, we're all down. We're all underwater at this point of the game. But you have to admit, we are in the very early days of this cycle. I mean, crypto has only been around a few years. Let's face it. Bitcoin's done nothing. It's gone backwards. Everything's gone backwards at this stage. You'd be lucky to not be underwater in any token that you'd invested in if you've only just, invested over the last few years. This is, a long-term game. There are moonshots. There are the lottery tickets. Most of them are scams. And so hopefully Alpha 2 market intelligence will steer you clear of such eventualities. So I probably haven't answered your question because I can't, because I don't have a crystal ball. Any other burning questions before I go and have lunch? Do apologize for the background and the lighting. Do hope the sound is okay. We will get better. Oh, yeah, interesting. Okay, so I'll wish you good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Thank you very much for watching. Head over to zencore.solutions. Have a look at the marketplace. Have a look at the affiliate scheme and see if it's something that you're interested in. If it is, please share this live video. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. And I will see you in the next live broadcast. Salam Jivar, everyone.